Hey everybody, welcome to Wednesday. Oh man, what a great time. What a great time we're having. Man, we're starting an hour late. Today is flying by. I have been working my butt off for 3 freaking days. And you guys get to reap the rewards of that. Yeah, I'm not spoiling it. You just stay subscribed to my YouTube channel. You're going to see what's going on. Yeah, you pay attention to the Patreon. I've been working on both those channels, making landmark agreements with companies that have no business doing business with me. But I appreciate their support as much as I do the Patreons anyway. Anyway, that's all you're going to get. Oh, shit. Oh, that's going to demonetized. Oh, this game. This game is so broken. They're broken. Oh, I can't even get out of it. Fix your game. Triassic Games, I'm talking to you. Fix your shit. This game needs a patch. Why does this happen? I can't even get out of the screen. Oh, fine. Did it close finally? No. I just clicked on my 8th monitor over here and did that. You guys want to see something fun? No. I already said no more spoilers, so we're not doing that. Let's try this again. Campaign. Let's load 1984, but let's try this one. Yeah, autosave is broken AF. All right, let's go to the briefing. Let's go to the... let's go with that. 2, 9, 11, 5. Okay. We have enough weapons for one more engagement. Preferably a surface engagement because we got 5 harpoon missiles. Uh-oh, there we go. All right, that works better. All the targets are up in the Barents. Come out and play. All right, we're gonna try and go up there. I think this is really dumb. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay, so here we go. You know what? This is dumb. I'm about to do something stupid. Let's do this. All right, we have to do some contact bearing to the south, down to designated Sierra 1. We're looking for a submarine tender, which means there's probably a submarine in there. Thus, we will not load any torpedoes. We'll call this hard mode. Yeah. So we got one decoy, though, for that submarine. Maybe he can go chase after that. We do, however, expect one escort ship, probably a Grisha, maybe a Krivac, but something on the lighter end, generally speaking, to be escorting the submarine tender in the Barents Sea. That's what we expect to see. So one submarine, one tender, one escort. And our primary target is the tender. We're going to take that son of a gun out. He's down to the south of us, we think. All right, our depth is 150 feet. Very shallow water. Probably no surface duct. It says a moderate surface duct. It'll be interesting to see what total water depth is here. We do have a weak thermal layer at 223 feet. We are right above the layer. It is likely that the submarine going to the tender is at periscope depth or on the surface. That's what we would expect. So we want to get below the thermal layer, assuming there's enough water depth to do that, and stay down there. But we can't shoot our harpoons from down there. Change plans. We're going to go to periscope depth and attack immediately. Let's go.
On sonar, new contact bearing.
Rig shift for ultra quiet.
Make turns for 0 knots. Maneuvering eye.
All right, 3 weapons.
Con sonar, new contact bearing. 203. Designated Sierra 3.
Make depth 4, 5, 8, dive by.
I need to know which one of these is the tender. So let's find Timmy Tender's signature here in the profile library. There it is.
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified.
Sierra 1's the
as-
Dawn. We're shooting on the bearing of Sierra Dawn. We got to make sure. Oh boy. All right, we got to make sure that there isn't a civilian target here. All right, so let's quickly classify the other ones. Oh, doggone collateral damage, rules of engagement, and all that nonsense. Don't shoot the innocent people, blah, 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 blah. It is a Grisha.
Sierra 2 is classified as escort.
2 Grishas.
Sonar,
What?
Sierra
Oh, this is perfect. Okay.
classified as escort.
We are gonna be okay. What's total water depth? Oh, what's this? They're already going active? All right, we're gonna get onto our evasion course
Right, 2, 3,
and attack
Helm I.
everybody.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir. Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir. Shoot 2-4. Aye,
Okay, emergency deep.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
We're gonna reload. That's gonna be good for now. Let's get below this layer.
Passing 100 feet.
There we go. There we go. There we go. It's working great. Center on. So she goes.
Con,
Passing 300 feet.
con sonar lost
Excellent.
contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 202.
Grisha's
Contact
toast.
breaking up.
Smoke on the water. Fire in the sky. That's how we like it. The full
Con
rudder.
knuckle formed.
Turning to re-engage. Let's go to periscope depth.
Make depth.
Make turns for 1. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
All right, let's go ahead and flood tube 3.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Excellent.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra
All right.
1.
We
Bearing
intend on doing a
189.
periscope observation on Sierra 1, verifying hull number, and then engaging with 1 harpoon.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 1.
How you guys doing?
Knots.
Hello, everybody. I did see Battleship Texas is underway towards dry dock. That's fantastic for them. I'm glad they're finally getting around to
Sonar,
preserving
we are
that ship
cavitating.
properly in a dry dock
Make
environment.
turns for 5.
What is my ordered
knots.
speed?
Con
5
sonar,
knots, okay.
No longer cavitating.
All right, we're at 6 feet coming to... Is it 5 feet? I forget what this game calls periscope depth. Whoa, hello. It's definitely not 4 feet. What the hell?
Make depth
Oh,
4,
it
5,
calls
8,
periscope
9,
depth 4 or
5.
5 feet in this game. Okay. Got a little freaked out there. It's okay, though. Upscope.
Upscope.
And we're going to look down. Sonar, what's bearing us here? 1.
Con,
About
torpedo room,
180.
tube 4 ready.
Right here. There she is. It is the submarine tender we are looking for on the bearing of 184. Down.
Down scope. Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
And we're going to go ahead and reload a couple torpedoes. This is the easy part. Now we got to get the hell out of the Barents Sea without being ambushed by every single submarine in the Soviet Union's Navy. The Red Banner Fleet of the North. The Northern Fleet, if you will. Sounds like something out of a Game of Thrones novel. The Red Banner. Russia is coming. Look at him burning that diesel fuel. He's like, get me out of here.
Con sonar lost contact.
Excellent. Well done.
1. Last bearing 190. Contact breaking up.
Let's go. Ho, 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 ho. Deep water, yay. Okay, we got out of there. All right, we probably need to go reload. We got 9 torpedoes. We can do another battle. There they are. Let's get this guy. Come on. Catch up to him. This is why you want nuclear power on your submarine, so you can go fast. Long time go fast. Oh, shoot. Come back here. Oh, what's this? Allied forces take back Norway. Yay! Norway's back. Oh, this is Sad Tank. He got droopy nose. He's Sad Tank. Oh. Okay, good. We're solid periscope depth. This is good. Tarantula, how's it going? Happy Wednesday. Yeah, Raccoon's here. How's it going, man? Love your DCS streams. You are one of my go-tos whenever I see you playing DCS there. Absolutely. All right. Periscope depth, 236. Let's just kill him. Easiest game in the world. I don't know why people struggle with this game. All you gotta do is do what I do. Or join the Navy for 20 years. Be good. Be good at video games. Join Navy. Did you know that the United States Navy in 2020, 2 years ago, began a professional gaming league? That's right. There is a professional gaming team that goes into all sorts of competitions with enlisted Navy sailors and a Navy officer. I think the Navy officer is like the head of the whole thing. Yep. So you can join the Navy and play video games for a living. It's called a special program. You're still enlisted, you have a rate, you go to A school, you get your job, you go to sea for your first boat, ship, whatever, squadron if you're in the aviation community. Why are there so many contacts, son? There's supposed to be one guy. I was promised one guy. What the hell? It's like a fleet out there. Shit. We brought one torpedo sonar, so there better not be more than one warship out there. Yeah, professional gaming. I don't know what they're called. They do have a name. It's like goats or something along those lines. Rams, goats. Yeah. Look it up. Google it, man. Yeah. United States Navy professional gaming team. I don't know what they play. I imagine it's like Call of Duty and CSGO, things like that. First-person shooters. Whoops. Well, there's a submarine right there. Let's go up scope. Let's take a look at all these chuckleheads down to the southwest. Better not be a fleet. I swear to God, Sonar, if this is a freaking fleet, I'm going to be so pissed off at you. All right, what do we got here? We got a freaking...
Sonar, Master 4.
All right, that's fine. He's good. Sea States 3. Moderate chop, white caps. Where's everybody else at, Sonar? Hold on. Okay, this is south, so we want to start looking southeast. A little bit more southeast. Okay, we got that dude. Oh, who do we have here? Trawler.
Con Sonar, Master 3 is classified as merchant.
Some of these guys are really far away. All right, so we're going to do a little more detailed search here. Let's get zoomed all the way in. So help me, if there's any warships here, I'm going to lose my mind, Sonar.
Con Sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Yeah, we know about him. We got a torpedo for that guy. Okay, cool. Down. And it's an alpha. So basically with the alpha, we just want to get behind them.
Come left to 195.
Do we have a layer? We do. Let's make our depth 150 feet. And we're going to start coming left. You ready to load, Leroy? Yeah. Just a flop, how's it going? You had carrier qualifications last Sunday. Earned your wings. Very cool. Now you're a full member of the 104th. Hold on a second. Is that what it takes to be a member of 104 is to land on a carrier? Hell, I do that all the time. Usually with half my gear up. That's easy. I don't follow any procedures. Yeah, if they want me to follow procedures, they can forget it. My procedure following days are over.
Come left to 194. Helm I.
All right, Sierra 1. Looks like we're fine here right where we're at. What's his range? Sonar says he's at 6,000 yards. I believe him. I do believe him. Anyway, congrats on earning your wings for the 104th. That's very cool. Hey, Zorro, thank you for gifting a sub to Raccoon. Yeah, Raccoon's a solid dude, man. I don't know him personally, I shouldn't say that, but I mean, he seems like a nice guy. He plays video games real good, okay? That's all it takes to be a solid dude in my book. You play video games good? He's a solid dude. I get behind him. Yeah. Now, everyone at the 104 has been nothing but extremely kind to my antics. We even joined their servers a couple times and got absolutely lambasted. They kick my ass terribly. To the point to where it's probably not fun for them. They're probably like, oh my god, he's back. Let's use a Sidewinder this time. He won't know the difference, you know. So, but yeah, good community over there. I like those guys. I will never be a 104 member because I don't do all the procedures that those guys follow. Never gonna happen. And I'm okay with that. I know exactly who I am, and this is not an aviation person. I'm this kind of guy. Yeah. Nah, there's no warship. It's fine. Who thinks there's a warship? Kempt. We'll see if Kempt is right. I don't think he is. How's my WoW's experience been this time around? It's been pretty good. I'll notice this. Building a new account, the ships above tier 7 are ridiculously expensive. I'm like, what in the world? Maybe they were always expensive and I never noticed because I already had the ships for years and I forgot how much they cost. And my old account had millions and millions of dollars. So if I had to buy anything, it was just click the button. You know, it was nothing. But starting a new account with no money, and you get to tier 5 pretty quick. Starting with tier 5, it's not the playing the game that slowed me down so much as it was the amount of in-game credits you needed to buy the actual hull. And I'm not talking about the experience stars. If you play the game, you get plenty of experience stars if you win once in a while to buy the next ship. That's not a problem. But after you get the experience for the next ship, I had a bill last night. It was like 12 million credits for a ship. And they don't tell you that until you spend the experience on the ship. Yeah, that's kind of underhanded. They shouldn't do that. So I spent a lot of experience, thousands of experience, on a new ship, but then I couldn't buy it with in-game credits until I played the game for a lot. Because I average 150 to 200,000 credits per win. Half that if I lose, right, per game. Each game takes 15 minutes roughly. Could take 20, but usually 15 is enough. So I'm getting 4 games an hour, earning a collective of about 600,000 in-game dollars, and they want 12 million. How many hours is that? That's like 18 hours of gameplay to buy your next ship, which is why you have plenty of experience, by the way. Getting experience in World of Warships, even if you lose every match, you'll have plenty of that by the time you have the money, if you just play the in-game, you know, for money. Yeah, it's not balanced at all in terms of, I would balance the game that by the time you have enough experience, you would have pretty close, if not a little more than in-game money you need for the next ship. It's not like that at all. No. It's like you get the experience for the next ship and then you got to continue playing for 2 days. And by then you'll have enough in-game money. Yeah, that's how they get you. So yeah, I've been grinding away. I got the sign up, which is that tier 7 Russian battleship. And it's pretty fun. The next one is Vladivostok. The Vladivostok is significantly better on paper. The stats are significantly better than the sign-up. But with the tier 8 Vladivostok, you're going to be going against tier 10 battleships, tier 10 players. Your level of competition is significantly higher beginning at tier 8. So I like staying at tier 7 and seeing if I get matched up with people more my skill level, because I haven't played in years. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's go up 10 knots. We're going to go ahead and shoot. We do want this thing on active homing because this thing's an alpha and it will run away from us. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and reload a couple tubes. Looks like we do have a second submarine out there. We're in the baffles of both. So you should see the super ships tier 11. No way realistic. Even make money with them, it's a loss every time. Oh, really? Yeah, I did see the super ships, but I'm nowhere near them, so I don't even know what they are. Yeah. Vlad has an icebreaker bow. Oh, really? That's good. So I'll battle tank with the Vlad. Yeah, yeah. I had a couple really good games last night. And people, one thing I'll say about this, the players in the World of Warship community, for the most part, are pretty solid. Like, I didn't have any problems in chat last night with anybody. There was like one game where one guy was maybe, he got killed early, so he spent the next 15 minutes complaining about how that was everybody else's fault that he got killed. Occasionally you do get people like that. He's probably a 12-year-old. It was a school night. He's supposed to go to bed, you know. So, I mean, other than that one guy, everyone's been super cool. A lot of GGs, good game both teams. And I love that. If your community can have that kind of communication on the internet between strangers, oh yeah, that's all right. And that's what I experienced last night. I played for a couple hours last night just because every game I had, whether I won or lost, I was having fun and people were being cool with each other. Yeah. Good luck getting that anywhere else. So, yeah, I was super happy with it. This merchant's going to be right in the way. I'm not going to shoot the second one because I got to manage this wire. And, yeah, I don't want anything to get in the way of that. We'll take care of the November next. One at a time. Classic Sonar screaming that there's another sub, but captains telling stories about old times. Yeah, I know, right? Let me tell you about the old days. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I got big plans. There's so many new things coming to the YouTube channel. I'm so excited. I can't even. Beginning September 1st, tomorrow, I can talk about it. Beginning tomorrow. I've been working my ass off. Okay, let's just make that very clear. And we're finally going to see some results tomorrow. Very, very happy. This YouTube channel's going places. Uh-oh. Does he hear me or does he hear the torpedo? I think he hears the torpedo. Yeah, yeah. Okay. This is good.
Fire control, weapon acquired.
I told the torpedo to search deep, too, so there it goes. Oh, we need to get the torpedo on a straight line, though. Let's see what it does. Because the Alpha's turning and not just hauling ass, I'm going to let torpedoes... I'm going to torpedo hunt. Okay. So countermeasure homing now. We don't want it to do a full circle. That's what will kill this search. Okay, good. It's not going to do a full circle. Now, the two back-to-back countermeasures there is going to really screw with this weapon. Let's see what it does. What's really dumb is this Alpha's turning back onto its own course. It's basically turning into a torpedo. It's been watching too much Hunt for Red October. It didn't work in the movie. Maybe he didn't watch Hunt for Red October. Maybe he should have. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, he dodged it. Ha! Well played, sir. So now what does the torpedo do? The torpedo's confused right now. It's like, I should have hit that. Yeah. 3 countermeasures all clustered together like that is really going to screw with it. Yeah, yeah. The Alpha's being kind of smart that it's in there with the countermeasures, so the torpedo's going shallow, going deep, looking all around, kind of confused by all the noise. We'll let it do a full 360 here and see if it's...
Fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
Yeah. Oh no, all it sees is countermeasures now. Oh no. Our poor torpedo. He's so confused. Okay, so now we got a 4th noisemaker, so we got a bearing... Oh, it should see it now. There it goes. Oh, it might hit it this time. Let's see if it does. Let's see if it does. No! What? Okay, let's watch what's going on now because that's 2 times it should have hit and it didn't. I'm not sure why. All right. We're just going to... we're going to give it a little assist here. Get it on the right depth. Home in on that jackass there. Does it see it? It does see it. Alright. It doesn't see the submarine. It's got to see it. It's right there in front of you. It's still... There's something wrong with our weapon. Something is wrong with his weapon.
Con sonar.
Thank you. Oh, it hit it. Okay.
01. Last bearing.
Good Lord.
292.
That was a special operations torpedo, yeah. Of the Olympic variety. Okay, 10 knots. Let's slow back down. This November is toast. He has no idea what's about to happen to him. Yeah. You like the... yeah, the Alpha does dodge a lot because it's really small. It's highly maneuverable in depth. So that's probably what it was doing. Yeah. Let's see. Cellophane says, what if my boss found out I was watching Cold Waters at work? He says, wait a minute, I am the boss. Are you your own boss, or you probably... I don't want to know what company you work for. We don't want to get into that. But it's good that you're the boss. It's always good to be the boss. Yeah. Salutes the sub for trying. Yeah. Let's see, you know. He was doing good torpedo beats there for a while. I had to help the torpedo a little bit. Anytime you're steering the torpedo in this view, it's a little unrealistic. I mean, come on. The most realistic thing about this video game is this view right here. This is what old school fire control systems look like. Yeah, with the green grid and all that. There used to be a little dial right here on the screen where you could turn this green lattice work up and down, because it was literally micro thin wires that would glow a green color. It was amber, I think. Yeah, it wasn't even green. It was amber. This off red. Oh shit! What's that? What? Uh-oh. Hey, you guys. Sonar, why didn't you tell me about Sierra 5? Sierra 5's over there shooting weapons at us. Numbskull. Alright, let's do this. Yeah, it used to be a little weapon. You turn the lattice work up and down. Very, very analog. Everything back in the day was very non-digital. And it gave it character. It wasn't perfectly aligned or anything like that. It was very sinusoidal, you know. Today everything is clean and quiet and digital, almost methodical. But back in the day, the systems had personalities. Like we had 4 submarine sonar stacks, operator stacks, 4 operators wearing headphones. And each one of those stacks had its own character. Like some stacks would burn up power supplies for no reason. And all the stacks are technically identical. But like a Formula 1 car, each one has their own characteristics. So some characteristics would be, you know, maybe there was a ground somewhere that we never could isolate. So a power supply would last a few years. Or, you know, less than that, right? And that's a big job pulling those things out. These power supplies weigh like 100 pounds. I'm not even exaggerating. Literally, imagine a computer power supply that weighs 100 pounds. Yeah, mostly metal. Because these things are designed to be depth charged and not fall to pieces, you know. Yeah, it was crazy. So we got 2 wires. That's why we're not evading that torpedo. We want to keep the wires. You're an independent automation contractor. Yeah. A one-man show. Yeah, I was a contractor for a while. I was a contractor a couple times in my life post-Navy. And I always loved being a contractor because, like you said, you're right. You took the contracts you want when you wanted to. It wasn't always about the money either. I remember taking contracts because I was bored. I was like, listen, I'm going to go do a job. Talking to my wife, you know, I'm going to go do a job, be back, you know, contract lasts 30 days or whatever. Sometimes the contracts last until the job is done and you're not sure how long that will be. And so you bid your proposal based on how long you think it will take. Yeah. You know all about that if you're a contractor. I'm surprised that November hasn't evaded yet. What's going on with him? Let's check that November's torpedo. Okay. Let's make it passive homing. The November should make enough noise that this torpedo sees him. The Victor's doing 30 knots though. Let's go ahead and enable him. Because the Victor's so fast, we're going to go ahead and speed up the weapon. You wish I had enough money to be bored? Oh. It's not so much about having enough money, it's about having lowered expectations. The moment I stopped wanting that Lamborghini, life got easy. I was like, oh, I don't need to earn $200,000? Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, that weapon... I wonder if the Victor will shoot to the north. Well, no, it's already shot once at it. Yeah, November's not evading. That's interesting. I'm going to let that torpedo ride, though. We'll let it ride, see what happens. So the big pun was right about lowering standards. Hey, I did that after I left the Navy. I'll tell you what, I trained some very good sonarmen. Very high standard sonarmen. Scary to think there's a bunch of little me's out there running the Navy now because they're all chiefs now. Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Maybe that's why standards are slipping. Oh Jesus! If they see this, they will kick my ass. Yeah, let's remove that edit from the YouTube video. Yeah, this part's not going out. You guys can say whatever you want in chat, I guess, because we're editing this part out of here. They're gonna be like, he said what? What did he say? Yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing about being well trained is it's like I don't know what you would call it. You know how a family tree branches for most of you? You got one guy that teaches 2 or 3 more guys, and they go on and they teach 2 or 3 more guys, and you know, it just rolls like that throughout the service. Uh-oh. All right. So we're going to enable the active sonar on Torpedo 1. Let's move him a little. There it is. He finally dropped a countermeasure, so we know where he's at. Why is this Victor turning around? They're doing the same thing there it is. What's Tube 1 doing? Tube 1's making me nervous. Okay. So we should get a good regain on Sierra 2. Uh-oh, are we going to get a hit here? Looks like it. High bearing rate. Tube 3. Oh, he just saved himself. He just saved himself. That Victor was putting on a show. Oh, and the November? Come on, we should hit the November. All right, who do we want to get first? Let's give our torpedoes another chance. Let's give them a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance. I think that November is so close to the torpedo. Up north, it can't turn fast enough to hit them. Oh, wow. Yeah, that Victor 2, he completely spoofed him. Yeah, Sailor Man, I had the same experience. Yeah, something changed. The highlight of me having fun in the Navy was 1999. Once the new millennia came around, the Navy really did change, the U.S. Navy. And it changed from the top to the bottom, really. It was like it's a new century. Everyone became a lot more serious, a lot more ambitious, which you would think would all be good things. But it went horribly wrong. It went horribly wrong. Hey, we got that November finally. All right, we're going to let Tube 3 search again. All right, we just had another noisemaker right there. This is an interesting evasion pattern. He's just going north and then south, north and then south. Yeah, it was bad. I don't want to talk about the bad experiences. But the 90s were the hotness. We had fun. We track the bad guys.
Contact Sierra 5, last bearing 25.
In 2000, we got really active into the drug war, which was kind of fun. You know, I didn't agree with it, but it was my job, so I did it. No one asked me what I thought about it, so I didn't tell them. Yeah. No one was saying, hey, let's go ask Aaron what he thinks about enforcing the drug, war started by Nancy Reagan in the 80s. Because she was a tight cunt. All right, reload's available. Let's do it. Let's do must do. Da, 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 da. All right, let's go get that guy to the north. I have no idea if we can catch him in time, but we're gonna try. Oh, I thought he was going through the Denmark Strait. That's why we're going north here. Yeah, probably the single most damaging thing to American culture was Reefer Madness movie, released in the 1930s. That was one of the most racist videos ever produced in American culture, and completely set the stage for what we know now as the drug war on drugs, whatever you want to call it. It's complete bullcrap. Anyway. Hey, MBT, how's it going, man? What happened to my Cold War vids on YouTube? They are on onlysubs. Take your happy ass in another tab over to YouTube and type in one word, onlysubs. It's like OnlyFans, but for submarines. That's our tagline. That's where they're at, broski. That's where they be. Do I have any British in my family? Yes. Remember we did the 24andMe, which is not a Pornhub video. It was actually a DNA test. Despite my surprise and disappointment, I did it anyway. And I found that I am Norwegian, primarily. I'm a fucking Viking. And if you were to look at me in person, I'm a fucking big guy. I probably am. I got some Viking in me. What can I say? But on my grandfather's side of the family, mother's side grandfather, that all came from England, UK. So apparently, at some point in history, my ancestors got in their little Viking ship and went over to Scotland, kicked some ass there, made some babies, and bam, Amic family came around. And I am the descendant of those guys. So sailing goes way back. Way back in my family. All right, we got Sierra 1. Do we have a layer? No. Let's go 10 degrees down, negative 10 degrees ballast, down to about 600 feet. Oh, we're at 600 feet. Let's get down to 700 feet. We just want to be deeper than what we are now. Shoot first, ask questions later, right? Yeah, I'm a Viking sonarman. That's so true. Yeah. And you know what's funny with me working out again and lifting weights? I'm starting to get a lot of my size back. And so I wonder how that's going to affect the channel. Because I will, in short order, unless I stop working out, I will become the massive man that I was in the Navy. It's already happening, and I'm not even trying. Other than, I'm lifting weights. I suppose that is trying. But I'm not lifting weights to get big. It's just happening because that's my body. That's why my body works.
Passing 700 feet.
I'm lifting weights to increase my metabolism, is what I'm doing. But it's having a side effect of making me a behemoth of a person. Again. I look like a fucking linebacker with pads on. Yeah, with pads on. Yep, I lifted weights this morning for about a half hour. I did 2 sets of my reps. I do 15 reps every set of all my body parts, except my legs. I don't have my leg machine yet. Oh, I got to call. Yeah, I can't let the stream go too long today because I do have to make a phone call to my dealer, the guy that sells me weightlifting equipment, and find out what the hell's the deal with my leg machine. Because I got chicken legs, a big ass upper body and little ass chicken legs. So I need my leg machine before I turn into a pyramid, an inverted pyramid. Yeah, inverted triangle. You would have never guessed Norwegian? Yeah, me neither. I mean, clearly that's the Norwegian ancestry in my family is thousands of years ago. It's not recent. No. But it makes sense. I'm pale as a ghost. Like, I have to dial the filter on the camera just so that I look white. Yeah. Dave Starbuck, thanks for 12 months. Holy crap. Where are the bikinis and hot tubs? Those are on the thumbnail, sir. That's it. That's how you get the clicks. You put the bikini on the thumbnail. I can't take credit for that idea, but I don't want to say who it was either, because I don't know if he wants credit. But that's our thing, man. Bikinis on thumbnails. Click if you like it. Subscribe if you want to keep it. Lure them in with dancing girls and then stick them with sub duty. Yeah. I was promised dancing girls. You sit there with an empty cup, wondering what are all these lights for. Someone puts a bag over your head and you become, next thing you know, you're on a submarine. That's how it works. All right, where's this guy? This guy's close. Where's he at? He's got to be above us because we're really deep. I don't even see him anymore. This submarine camouflage is working well. What's his bearing? So he's about relative 030, which should be right about here. And we look up because he's shallow. My eyesight is not good, but I don't see him. He should be like right here. Maybe he's not as close as I thought. What's his range? 5,000 yards. Huh? How do we not see this dude? Maybe you guys see him, but I don't. I know where he's at, though. It's all that matters. Scuderia will make a return. Max was riding a rocket all day? Yeah. So back in 2014, when the hybrid era began, Mercedes had such a good car that about halfway through the season, after the summer break of the 2014 Formula One season, they turned down that engine, internally, electronically, so that they would not be investigated. They weren't breaking any rules according to them. They just had a really good car because of the rules changes to the engine package, the ICE they call it, starting in 2014 till 2021, I guess, because they've changed them again here for this season. Anyway, I think that's what Red Bull Racing will do for the rest of the season. They have such a good car that's just dominating, and I think they're gonna, and they're so far ahead in the points, they're gonna win the championship, and Verstappen is all but gonna win unless something catastrophic happens in every single race. Verstappen could come in behind Charles Leclerc for the rest of the season, as long as he's behind, right behind him, and not lose the championship. So that means Leclerc could win. The Ferrari driver, for those of you that don't know, his main competition, could win every single race and still not win the Drivers' Championship, as long as Max Verstappen came in second place on those same races. Anyway, having said all that, so as to not get any more suspicion or, inspection from the FIA, I expect Red Bull Racing to turn down their engine a little bit and not say a thing until the documentary comes out 10 years later, just like what happened with Mercedes. Nobody knew that Mercedes had turned down their engine in 2014 until this year, when they finally talked about it. They didn't admit to it because they didn't do anything wrong, but they were like, we were winning by so big a margin that they wanted to turn it down just so that people wouldn't accuse them of cheating. Mercedes was actually shocked at how good their car had been for the past 6 or 7 years. Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park. What I want to know is what the hell happened? Where's the design team that did the 2014 car? Because that was amazing. Are they working for Red Bull now? Because that's what it looks like. That's the dichotomy. That's the comparison that we're seeing between Red Bull and Mercedes. Mercedes car this year is It's just junk. And I don't know, well, I don't know anything because I'm not on the fucking team, but even the team doesn't know if it's the aero package or is it the engine? Did they do something? It's probably not the engine because the rules change. Well, I guess there's some changes to the engine as well. Anyway, something went wrong with the Mercedes design. Like the fundamental of that car is flawed, and they've been tweaking it all season to trying to get it to be faster and faster, which to their credit, they have. The Mercedes today is faster than the Mercedes back in the first race in Australia. Or was it Bahrain? Whatever the first race was. I forget. They've messed with the schedule so much. I think Bahrain's now like the first race now. So they have made improvements, but it's like trying to fix a plane in flight that's crashing. Yeah, they're making it fly better, but it's still crashing. Still a crashing plane. And what they don't want to do, and what they really can't afford to do, is throw this car out after the season's over and start all over again next year. I know there's people in the Mercedes paddock that want to do that. They're like, we can't fix a fundamentally broken design. But then do you lose an entire year of development so that you can, maybe have a better car in 2 years? That's the question. Toto Wolff, the team principal, has to make that decision. And I do not envy that whatsoever. Because all the progress that they've made this year, it hasn't really mattered, but it has been progress. So do you want to get rid of all that? Or let's say you do get rid of all of that. Are there little bits and pieces, changes that you want to keep? How do you know what changes or changes for the better if you're going to have a completely new design next year? It doesn't apply. Yeah. So it's, Mercedes is in a world of hurt. Yeah. I just, sorry, I went on a little F1 rant there. I'm pretty, I love F1. It's really entertaining. I love the technical side of it a lot and the strategic side of it. The drivers are all characters. I mean, hilarious, cartoonish level of characters. Whether they're stoic, like Bottas, my favorite driver, or they're irrationally emotional like Lewis Hamilton, who's also one of my favorite drivers, but for completely different reasons. He's more entertaining off the track than on the track, it seems. Or just a complete jerk like, Michael Andretti and Max Verstappen. I think Max Verstappen is this generation's Michael Andretti. He certainly drives like him. He pushes people out of the way. He almost killed Lewis Hamilton last season. That's something that I really didn't. It kind of tainted my opinion of him still to this day. And obviously, the collision between him and Michael and Lewis Hamilton was not intentional. I don't think it was. He certainly didn't try to intentionally kill him or injure him. But the result of that collision almost ripped Lewis Hamilton's helmet off of his head. Probably with his head still inside of it. That almost happened. The one thing that saved Lewis Hamilton's life was that halo ring that they had installed on the cars a couple years ago. Because that big ass rear tire skipped right across. You can see the tire marks on the halo and on his helmet. And if you watch the replay, Lewis Hamilton is being pushed into his car by the weight of Verstappen's car as it goes over the top of his cockpit. It's scary. It's a scary fucking video. Yeah. So Lewis Hamilton got a little compression. Apparently there was enough room in that seat of his to save his neck, so it didn't get snapped. And that halo took the weight of that Red Bull car for just a fraction of a second. It was just a skip. But thank God it was there, because that could have been a nightmare. Yeah, we almost saw someone die live on television.
1-0 knots.
And so the reason why I got upset at Max is that he didn't even check to see if the other driver was okay, because Lewis Hamilton stayed in his car. Everyone thought he was really hurt. Max Verstappen got out of his car. Obviously was pissed that he was going to crash and out of the race, but there was no compassion there. And then on his interview, he literally said this, and I want to quote it, but to the best of my memory, it was like, Max Verstappen said, talking about Lewis Hamilton, that's what he gets when he doesn't leave enough room on the turn or on the outside or something like that. So there was no concern at all for a human being. Yeah, that moment changed my opinion of Max Verstappen. That one interview after that crash. The man is a psychopath, and I still say if they banned him from racing, I'd be okay with it, just because he's dangerous and he's unremorseful. Yeah. And that was like last year. That was pretty recent. Yeah. A lot of Max Verstappen fanboys say, well, he's a young driver and he's a lot more mature now than he was 3 years ago. And that's true. It doesn't change the fact that just last year he almost killed someone and showed absolutely no remorse or concern. Doesn't even have to be remorse. Just be like, oh, I hope he's okay. That would have been nice. Not, that's what you fucking get. I was like, well, I guess I'm not a fan of you anymore. Yeah, go back and watch that race. It's oh God, it was last year, and it was in the middle of the season, maybe towards the end actually. Yeah. That was the moment I stopped being a Max Verstappen fan. Alrighty, let's shoot the guy we just lost.
074. Contact faded.
Contact faded. Am I forgetting Silverstone? Oh, whenever Lewis Hamilton pushed him into the wall and all that, that's what he fucking gets for not leaving enough room. That's what he fucking gets. 20 fucking whacks. Max landed, it was at Monza. Was that the, yeah. K Magnussen. I'm glad to see K Mag back in F1. I'll say this about the Silverstone incident. At least Lewis Hamilton was concerned about the health of Max Verstappen after that collision. Yeah. At least he showed a little humanity. Yeah, Lewis Hamilton. I think every driver kind of claims every corner as their own. I mean, that's kind of the level it takes to be in the level of competitiveness it takes to be at that level. But you just don't take it to the degree that you don't care about your fellow drivers after you've almost killed them. But yeah, I mean, obviously Max is a very exciting driver to watch. He's obviously very talented. I mean, I respect his talent, of course. And they're not going to kick him out of the sport. You know, I just wish in that moment he had shown a little concern. That would have been nice, you know. All right, so we told torpedo goes shallow. We think the Juliet is shallow. I'm going to set up the torpedo on his bearing. We don't have the contact anymore. That's probably due to depth separation and range, obviously range. Good on Hamilton for accepting the fault of the contact with Alonso. Yeah. I think Lewis Hamilton, he showed a lot of character after he lost last year's championship in a controversial FIA ruling in real time, which I kind of sympathize with the FIA for that. They had to make a decision quick because the race was quickly coming to an end and they needed to figure out how they were going to come off a safety car, caution. And it just went completely in one driver's favor that ended up determining the championship. It's also something that people forget, and I'll be more than happy to bring this up, is that Max might have won that championship without that safety car. He was right behind Lewis Hamilton when that safety car was brought out by Latifi's collision or wreck. Collision. Boom. And he was catching Lewis Hamilton with maybe 5 laps to go. I forget how many laps to go there was. But it was near the end of the race, and there was enough time for Max Verstappen to make up the 5 or 6 car lengths that he had to pass Hamilton. That's what everybody wanted to see. And that's what the stage was set until Latifi crashed. And if you notice, go back and watch Latifi's race. He crashes a lot. And it often happens at the worst possible time for whoever's in the lead. And for the past 7 or so years, that's normally been a Mercedes, right? So it's almost as if there is a conspiracy out there that Latifi in last year's last race intentionally crashed his car, which is completely untrue. He did not do that intentionally. But it gave the win, quote unquote, gave the win to Max Verstappen because it bunched up Max right behind Lewis Hamilton with 1 lap to go, maybe 2 laps to go. I forget how many, it wasn't many. And basically before that 1 lap was even done, before even like in the first half of that lap, Max had just drove around on fresh tires around Lewis Hamilton. And everybody knew, once that safety car came out, everyone knew that the race was either going to end under a safety car, giving Lewis Hamilton the championship for the entire season. And nobody wanted to see that. So obviously the FIA, the rule makers, the referees, if you will, are like, well, bring the safety car in, you know, and give him another lap, and which was legal, which is why they made that decision. But it basically handed the whole championship to Max Verstappen. And it all goes back to Latifi's wreck. Yeah, there was a lot of hate on Twitter against Latifi and the Williams team. Yeah, which was completely undeserved. They didn't deserve any hate. The freaking accident, man. But it is funny how Latifi crashes a lot. Somehow he's still in F1. I don't know how. He's not a good driver. I don't know anybody that says Latifi's a good driver of a car. He couldn't drive a train. He's just not a good person. Yeah, as a human being, he's just not. No, I'm just joking. Okay, he's not a good F1 driver. He does not belong there. You know, maybe F2, F3, but generally speaking, you don't regress like that. You either make it to F1 or you don't. And once you're out of F1, it's very rare to come back like Kay Magnussen did. Yeah. I don't know why. Oh, I think is Latifi a pay driver? Is Latifi's dad rich and own part of that racing team? Let's see what happened. Cheating in Formula One is widespread. Well, I guess in any motorsport you could say that. Yeah, he is a paid driver. That's why. Imagine being in Lewis Hamilton's shoes, losing a good chance at winning the championship to a paid driver's crash. That's got to be infuriating. Yeah, that's got to be infuriating. I don't know. Hey, there's another ship out here. What? Okay, apparently there's a second submarine. Sonar, where's the other submarine at? All right, let's go.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
It's a rig ship for ultra quiet. Well, we know where he's not. He's not in front of this torpedo, or else he'd be getting out of the way. So he's somewhere up ahead of us, or he could be in our baffles. The second sub. Yeah. Hey, Red Devil, thank you for the 11 months streak, 13-month resub. Thanks, man. Therapy GR, thanks for the follow. Welcome to it, everybody. Hey, at least Lance Stroll has some skill. I think Lance Stroll is a good driver. Whether or not he's F1 good, you could debate, and who knows. But at least he can drive a car, right? And he understands how to communicate. See, I listen to the driver radio whenever I listen to the race or watch the race, which means I watch the race 2, 3, 4 times, listening to each driver that I like. And Lance Stroll is one that I've been suspicious of just because his daddy is rich and put him in that seat. So I'm like, maybe this guy doesn't know what he's doing. But if you listen to Lance Stroll's radio communication with the pit wall during the race, especially during practice when they're setting the car up, he gives good feedback. He knows how to be an F1 driver, and on race day, he knows how to drive and compete midfield, which arguably competing midfield is more difficult than in being in the front. Like, if you're in the front, you don't have to race around anybody. You just have to keep the guy behind you, which is how Lewis Hamilton won 7 championships. You know, he did that very well. Now that Lewis Hamilton is in a bad car in the midfield, having to deal with traffic, he's running into Alonso. It seems like a lot. Alonso's getting sick of his shit for that, too. Alonso's hilarious. So, Alonso, I got to be honest with you. I didn't understand why people liked Alonso. I always thought he was the old man in the field besides Kimi, and just grumpy, and I was like, I just kind of don't like his personality. But then I realized it just clicked with me, I think, this year. He's being sarcastic. That's fucking hilarious. I mean, Kimi was very obviously sarcastic and didn't give a damn. Alonso gives the impression that he gives a damn and is sarcastic at the same time. So I suddenly became a little bit of an Alonso fan this year, going, oh, all right. Yeah, so Alonso, he's good in my book. I like him. Anxiety attack, go away. Sometimes I get lightheaded for no reason.
Con sonar
It's called having a heart attack.
02 is classified
No,
as
I get anxiety
submerged
attacks.
submarine.
It's okay. Excuse me. Hey, someone spelled Raikkonen right. Whoa. Let's see, Zorro says, Kimi Raikkonen will always be my favorite driver. When he broke down in Monaco and walked straight to his yacht and got in his jacuzzi. I remember that race. Yes, I do remember that. That's fucking hilarious. I wonder if he went to the post-race team meeting or if he just stayed on his yacht. Oh, man. I don't know. My thoughts on the Danny Rick situation. Oh, yeah, Danny Ricciardo. I'll tell you what, Danny Ricciardo as a person is very fun to like. He seems like a genuinely positive. I'm sure some of that's a bit of a put on, but he seems like a generally good guy. And so it's hard not to cheer for Daniel Ricciardo. Is he a good driver? He certainly was. When he was with Red Bull, oh boy.
No, steady course.
How much of that was the car? How much of that was the driver? You could ask that about any, driver because it's a team sport. How much of Verstappen's win is due to his absolute dominant machine this year, and how much of it is talent? The answer is it's both put together, right? It's an additive thing. But how much talent does Ricciardo have now? So as a driver gets old, what I don't understand is as drivers get older, how does their performance decrease, or why does their performance decrease? As they get more and more experienced, do you expect them to get more? I almost said more better, but become better performers. Yet they do not. They become not as good. So part of the F1 driving experience has got to be physical. These guys are athletes. If you look at them, and like in the cool down room, they're pretty fucking ripped. Like they're definitely athletic. And I wonder how much of the wear and tear on the older bodies as they get closer to being 30 years old, which for them in that sport is old. How much of that is the factor? How much does a driver stop pushing his car because he's struggling to breathe under 4 and 5 G's of force repeatedly applied to his body throughout the track? How much of that is the case? And so let me get back on Ricciardo's situation. I think his health and his age is definitely a factor. He's a $21 million a year driver. That's what his contract's been with McLaren and Renault and Red Bull. I think Red Bull set that standard, and that's the standard he's kept through all the teams that he's been with. He's certainly, if he has the seat next year, I think he has to come to realize that his past recent performance is not worth $21 million a year. And so if he's willing to take a pay cut, I would love to see Daniel Ricciardo in an F1 car next year. So who's available? Well, it looks like Mick Schumacher may not be with Haas next year because based on performance, as much as I love the Schumacher name and his heritage and, absolute legend in racing, Schumacher is, the family, he's just not performing with Haas. And so he should go to a different team, potentially, leaving the door open for Ricciardo to go to Haas. I don't really care what team Ricciardo joins as long as he's on a team next year. And I think at some point Ricciardo will come to the realization that nobody's banging down his door to get them to join their team because the past 3 seasons he hasn't done very well. I think he's won 1 race in 3 seasons. Yeah. So as soon as he gets to that point where he realizes that, I think he'll accept the offer from Haas. That's a bit of a prediction on my part. That's what I think is going to happen. But I would love to see him continue being an F1 driver. He's just a fun personality. And if he doesn't drive, I want him on F1 TV as a commentator, expert, whatever the hell you want to call it. I think that's a great spot for him. He definitely has a future as a commentary person. Commentary is in 2 varieties. You have play-by-play, and then you have the hype guy. And he would be a great hype guy. Not the play-by-play guy, which he could probably do play-by-play too, honestly. He's got the knowledge and the experience. Let's go and make this active homing. I'm just trying to get past this freaking, what you call it here? Noisemaker. Oh, what you doing, buddy? Well, get back on the...
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing.
Uh-oh. He's going to go right underneath of it.
7.
You missed him. You went right by him. Oh, no. What's his depth? It's really shallow. All right, send him up shallow. We'll come back and try again. I wonder if the AI will counterfire on the bearing of the torpedo once it's past him. It shouldn't, obviously, but... All right. Torpedo should be shallow now. In the same depth area as that. Oh, there's the...
Fire control.
That's a really good counterfire. Wow. That actually might be a concern for us. What is going on? Why does he not see him? What the hell?
Con sonar.
Oh,
lost
fuck, I hit him.
contact. Sierra 2, last bearing.
Easiest game in the world. All I gotta do is hit the
5.
button.
Contact breaking up.
Let's just do that. Holy shit. Oh, hit the button. Where's that incoming weapon? Oh, Jesus. Uh-oh. We might want to get the decoy ready. It's going to go right over top of us. Holy smokes, that's close. That's a really good counterfire considering he had no idea where we were. We should have sped up to 10 knots as well. I didn't do that. Yeah. Let's see what happens here.
Passing 900 feet.
Let's go ahead and level out here. Russian torpedoes aren't very good at looking down, so we might get away with this one. It's a good thing we went deep when we did. If we were still at 600 feet like when we started this match, it would have definitely saw us. Yep, we're good. We are good. Take her deep. Yeah, we did. We took her deep. Yeah. Dingo, thanks for the follow. All right. Good stuff. We just gotta wait for that torpedo to open out a little bit when we come off this one. What will happen with the Alex Palu lawsuit? Yeah, I don't know. So, for those of you that don't know, Alex Palu, if I'm saying his name right, was a third driver. Don't they call him like a reserve driver or something like that for McLaren? So, like if one of the two drivers get COVID or whatever, get hurt, he can come in and do one race in their place. Or wasn't he also in Formula 2? I'm getting my stories mixed up. Anyway, he's basically the next in line driver for McLaren. And McLaren says that he signed a contract back in November of last year to basically be available for McLaren for an F1 seat if McLaren decides to seat him, to put him in a car. That's a very one-sided contract. But when you're trying to get into F1, your first contract is often very one-sided in favor for the F1 car that you're getting into. Yeah, that's, you're still getting paid a lot of money, but it's also, you're going to be in this car because we said so. That's the contract. So whenever Ricardo was announced and told that he was going to be let go at the end of this year, of course they went into the media assuming that Alex would be the next driver, and they even said so. And then Alex got on Twitter and was like, I haven't signed or talked to anybody from McLaren about being the driver next year, but I'm still available, basically opening himself up to the rest of the field in an attempt, I think, to get a better contract, one that makes more money maybe, or has some better perks, better options. Who knows what these drivers want besides money. The money's always going to be there in Formula One for the drivers that make it to that level. So basically that's going to court, and no one knows the details because it's got to go to court first. So McLaren says that they have an agreement in writing saying that Alex is going to be the next driver for McLaren. And that driver says, oh no, I don't. And how do I think that's going to pan out? I have no idea. And anyone that does know is not telling the truth, because no one knows what that contract is except McLaren and supposedly the guy who signed it, Alex. You know, hopefully he kept a copy of it and he reads it once in a while. So, assuming there even is an agreement, according to Alex, there is none. According to the driver, there is no agreement. That's highly unlikely that he would be the third or the backup driver, the simulator driver, the tech driver, whatever you want to call him, and not have some sort of agreement. There's got to be something in writing for just to have that position. So, and there's probably a clause in there, and maybe he genuinely doesn't know about it, that says, "Hey, thou shalt become driver number 2 of the F1 team if we say so, if McLaren says so." So, and keep in mind, these guys are very young. I think Alex is maybe 19 years old, 20 years old. So it's potentially that he doesn't realize that clause was in his contract. Like, there is a reasonable expectation that a young teenager did not read the contract thoroughly, or at least remembered that part, you know. Or if he's on the other end of the spectrum, if he's very conniving, which I'm not accusing him of that, but if that were the case, he could just simply say that's not true and try to get a better deal with Haas. So, because Ricardo may not go to Haas. Maybe Alex goes to Haas and makes a few more dollars, or gets a better spot in the trailer, in the paddock. Because remember, these drivers, they get a lot more than money. They get showered with options, it's called in contract speak. And, you know, the more options in your contract, especially your first one, is so key. I learned this whenever I started signing contracts for streaming. Whatever your rider is on your first contract is your expectation. So whenever you get your second contract, they look at your rider on your first one, your options, and they're like, well, you want that, that, and that, you know, and then if you want to add something to that, well, that's going to cost you. We're not going to pay you as much if you want to, you know. And so as a person negotiating in contracts, you need to say, well, do I take a little bit of a pay cut to get more perks, if you want to call them perks, you know, do you want a chocolate basket in your green room before you go live on your live stream? I don't have anything like that, of course, but I mean, that would be a perk. Well, that's going to cost you $100 a month for a year-long contract. But now that perk is on my rider, the next year when I go to another sponsor, I'll be like, this is my perk list. This is what I've been getting. I want to continue to get this, and I want this much money. So Alex could be doing something like that. It's contract negotiation is its own animal. Yeah. And if you get, you know, if you're an independent person, whether it's live streaming or being an F1 driver, you're going to end up in contract negotiation. Hire a professional like I did. I have this gentleman. His name is Gene. He is fucking awesome, and I love that dude. And he's my fucking battle axe. Like, he goes into those fucking rooms, you know, fucking war paint on his face, contract in hand, pens in the other, and just screams at these potential, you know, sponsors. I have a new sponsor starting tomorrow, by the way. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, this man is an absolute madman. Thank you. Gene's also just recovered from COVID, so thank God COVID didn't take him, because I was like, I'm going to have to find another agent. Yeah. So Gene's back. Apparently, Gene looked at COVID with his war-painted face and said, what the fuck? And then COVID went away. Yeah, Gene's an absolute badass. But anyway, so I think Alex is doing something like that. I think he's screaming at people in wardrooms. Oh, what did we get? Legion of Merit. Yeah, this is a cool medal. I saw one of these in real life, and it was given to the captain of a submarine I was on, because we did incredible shit. We were pretty awesome. And of course, they can't give these to everybody on the crew. These are very rare to be given away in peacetime. And but the captain got this as his end of tour award. And this medal is the size of a damn frisbee. Well, okay, maybe it's not quite that big. It was a big ass medal. Whenever you put this medal on your chest, everyone can see it. Yeah, from space. Yeah, it's even got the stars on it. Anywho, all right. So yeah, we're breaking the stream up into 2 parts today. So we're gonna take a quick break and come right back with a little bit of Formula One. That's right, Formula One Manager released today. We had the game on pre-order for 2 months now, and we're gonna build our own Formula One team and continue the conversation about Danny Ricciardo when we get right back. Don't go anywhere.